Chosen one, when you awakened, you did not rise alone. In the spirit realm, 3 creatures emerged, not as enemies, but as divine witnesses sent ahead to announce your arrival. They are not symbols of fantasy, they are realities of power, and each one carries a message that only the awakened can comprehend. The first carries fire in its eyes and walks with authority. It comes to reveal your dominion. The second is cloaked in silence, yet its presence speaks volumes. It comes to mark your separation from the ordinary. And the third moves like wind, unpredictable, uncontainable. It comes to release you into a realm of supernatural flow. These are not random beings, they are coded confirmations that heaven has shifted your assignment. You didn't just wake up spiritually, you were summoned. And now, these creatures stand as living proof that your identity, your timing, and your territory have all been divinely activated. The first creature bears the face of a lion, but it is not here to fight for you. It is here to remind you that you've already won. It does not roar to scare, it roars to awaken the roar in you. This is the creature of kingship, and its message is clear. Authority has returned to your voice. Where you once felt silenced, passive, or unsure, you will now speak, act, and move in divine confidence. This lion will not follow you. It will walk beside you, echoing every step with heavenly weight. It will not be tamed by the opinions of others, nor will it retreat in the presence of opposition. This creature confirms what you doubted. The fear is over, and your dominion is active. You were not called to plead. You were called to command. Let this lion remind you daily. You do not need permission to rise, you've already been crowned. The second creature does not shout, yet its silence pierces deeper than any scream. It is the creature of consecration, wrapped in mystery, dwelling in the shadows where others fear to look. It appears at the threshold of every sacred place you're about to enter. It doesn't explain, it separates. Its message to you is simple but profound. Holiness is not optional for the chosen. The moment you said yes to awakening, heaven set you apart. This creature is not here to warn you, it is here to guard you. Its wings stretch across dimensions, blocking access to every counterfeit path that once tempted you. You will not be able to blend in again no matter how hard you try. You were not meant to be liked, you were meant to be aligned. The creature's presence will frustrate your flesh, but it will preserve your spirit. It doesn't speak often, but when it does, it always says one word: away. That is your cue to walk. The third creature comes last, because it doesn't wait for introduction. It arrives like a sudden wind, disturbing what is still and lifting what is ready. This is the creature of momentum, and it is your sign that delay has ended. It has no form, no sound, and yet it carries undeniable presence. When it shows up, things move. Doors swing open without effort, strategies unfold without explanation, and provisions come from places you've never touched. This creature releases divine acceleration. It doesn't apologize for bypassing systems or disrupting schedules. Its message is always the same. Now, when this being moves, you must follow immediately. It doesn't linger with those who hesitate. This is not the season of planning. It is the season of motion. God is not negotiating your breakthrough. He's commanding it through wind. Step when the gust hits you and don't look back. Understand this. These creatures are not metaphors. They are messengers. Their timing is not symbolic. It is sacred. You're not waiting for the season to shift. It shifted the moment you woke up. The enemy knows this. That's why confusion, fatigue, and second-guessing tried to revisit you the moment you felt peace. But these creatures are the reason you didn't collapse under the weight of uncertainty. Their presence confirms that heaven knows exactly where you are and what you're carrying. You have been seen. You have been sent. And now, you are being escorted. Let the lion roar through your voice. Let the silent one purge what no longer fits. Let the wind carry you beyond the familiar. You may not fully understand what's happening to you right now, but that's not your burden. Your job is not comprehension. Your job is cooperation. These creatures didn't appear to be explained, they appeared to be obeyed. Heaven doesn't waste vision, and it doesn't send its beings without purpose. Something in your spirit triggered this visitation. You may not remember saying yes, but your spirit did. You agreed to rise. You agreed to the fire, the silence, and the sudden wind. And now you must respond. not with questions, but with movement. If you wait for the full picture, you'll miss the moment. You don't need confirmation. These creatures are confirmation. You don't need validation. Your awakening is your proof. There are moments when heaven makes its intention so clear that you either act or forfeit. This is one of those moments. You are no longer living by assumptions or intuition alone. You are living by divine encounter. The lion reminds you of your voice. The silent one reminds you of your boundaries. The wind reminds you that the future will not wait for you to feel ready. You are not behind schedule. You are right on time, but only if you obey immediately. God is not waiting for you to feel worthy. He is waiting for you to walk like you already are. These creatures are not waiting to see what you'll decide. They've already begun. Your delay will not delay them. Your hesitation will not silence them, but your obedience will accelerate everything. The lion will go where you roar. The guardian will protect where you refuse to compromise. The wind will lift wherever you step in faith. This is your awakening, and it's irreversible. You've crossed into a realm where excuses no longer work. It's time to act. Chosen one, I need you to hear this with more than your ears. Hear it with your spirit. The enemy saw these creatures long before you did. That's why your battles intensified right before your awakening. He wasn't reacting to your struggle. He was reacting to your activation. Every attack, every delay, every moment of heaviness was an attempt to sabotage the emergence of your true form. But it failed. You were never fighting for survival. You were resisting spiritual abortion. These creatures didn't come because you were struggling. They came because you survived. The war was never about where you were. It was about who you were becoming. And now that you're awake, heaven has removed the restraints. Your dreams have been strange lately for a reason. The lion has been pacing near your sleep. The guardian has been standing over your bed. The wind has been whispering in your ear in ways you couldn't explain. These were not just dreams, they were dispatches. God was alerting your spirit that something irreversible was approaching. What you've sensed, even without language, is real. You are no longer in the cycle you once knew. Things you used to tolerate will now irritate your spirit. People who once had access will now find you unreachable. You're not becoming distant, you're being rerouted. Don't try to explain this shift to anyone. Just walk with the ones who feel it too. When the lion walks beside you, you no longer chase approval. The need to be understood dies, and the need to be obedient takes its place. This is the maturity God has been waiting to activate in you. You're done with spiritual negotiations and emotional bargains. You're not asking anymore, you're declaring. That roar in your chest, it's not arrogance, it's authority. When you speak now, things will move. Not because you're loud, but because you're aligned. You didn't earn this. He placed it on you. And the lion is proof that you've stepped into command. Let's lock this in real quick. Hit like if this is speaking to your spirit. Subscribe to stay in the flow of what's being released. Then type 55 in the comments. Covenant, new beginnings, divine alignment. The guardian creature has a different assignment. It doesn't move quickly. It doesn't seek attention. But its authority is unmatched. It stands between you and every familiar spirit that once disguised itself as comfort. You've outgrown your former life, and now that past is being fenced off. Don't be surprised when you feel discomfort around old habits, old environments, and old relationships. That's the guardian at work. It's not punishing you. It's protecting the purity of what's being born in you. This season demands sacred distance, not because you're better, but because you're becoming. The guardian ensures that what God started in you will not be contaminated. It doesn't argue with flesh, it enforces spirit. You may feel lonely, but you are not alone. The lion is walking with you. The guardian is shielding you. The wind is circling around you. This is divine company, not for comfort, but for clarity. The loneliness you feel isn't isolation, it's separation. God had to strip your circle so you could hear the strategy. Some people were too loud, too familiar, or too focused on who you used to be. But now you're surrounded only by those who see you for what you are becoming. Your discernment is sharpening. Your instincts are maturing. You're not softening, you're stabilizing. The loneliness was never punishment. It was preparation for divine alliance. The wind, when it comes, never asks permission. It doesn't knock, it enters. This is how opportunities will start to arrive in your life. Sudden, unexpected, unplanned, but unmistakably divine. Don't resist what shows up just because you didn't expect it. The wind is moving things on your behalf faster than your logic can keep up. This is where trust matters. Not blind trust, but strategic surrender. Walk through the doors that swing open. Speak when prompted. Move when stirred. If you delay, the wind won't wait. You are not being forced, you are being favored. This kind of favor comes with responsibility. You are now an atmosphere carrier. That means when you enter a space, things will shift, not because you tried, but because you're marked. The lion walks with you, the guardian goes ahead of you, the wind clears what's in your path. Don't take this lightly. You're not a guest, you're a key. Stop second-guessing your presence in rooms you prayed to enter. You didn't sneak in, he sent you in. These creatures didn't appear to flatter you, they appeared to escort you. And now, it's your job to walk like you know that. Chosen one, you are entering a season where signs will follow you. Not because you sought them, but because you aligned. These signs will not look like fireworks. They will look like confirmations in the ordinary. A conversation that echoes what you just prayed. A door that opens with no explanation. A moment of peace that interrupts chaos. Do not dismiss these moments. They are heaven's way of affirming that you are no longer moving blindly. You are walking under command. The creatures were not the beginning of your story. They were the evidence that your story has already shifted. God didn't send them to start something. He sent them because something has already begun. And your only task now is to keep walking with awareness, not fear. This is why sensitivity is rising in you. You're not being emotional, you're being recalibrated. The lion sharpens your discernment. The guardian deepens your silence. The wind refines your flexibility. All three are working together to shape the version of you heaven has been waiting to release. What once went unnoticed now strikes your spirit. What used to be tolerated now feels toxic. That's not overreaction. It's spiritual evolution. God is maturing your sensitivities so you can walk with divine accuracy. You will not be confused about who belongs in this season. You will not wonder which move is next. As long as you stay sensitive, you'll stay synchronized. You will find that certain conversations now feel like friction. Certain environments feel loud even when no one is speaking. That's the guardian creature doing its work. It is not there to comfort your loneliness. It is there to protect your separation. When this being draws near, expect something to fall off. A desire, a connection, a comfort zone. Whatever must be cut for clarity will be removed. You don't have to beg God to strip it. He already has. The creature isn't waiting for your permission. It's waiting for your release. Say yes to the loss and you'll see the gain. Every sacred separation is making room for divine addition. You will also notice how your words carry unusual weight. When you speak, people will pause. When you pray, atmospheres will shift. When you declare, doors will open. That's not charisma, that's the lion. The creature has merged with your mantle. You've been crowned, and now your voice has been calibrated to authority. Don't dilute it. Don't apologize for it. Don't downplay what God has elevated. You weren't raised to be impressive. You were raised to be impactful. Your voice will no longer echo empty opinions. It will now release divine decrees. Speak accordingly. The wind, though, brings a different weight. Not the kind that presses down, but the kind that lifts. When this being begins to move, everything lightens. Burdens that felt heavy just hours ago suddenly feel manageable. Ideas begin to flow. Solutions seem to present themselves. This is divine momentum. You'll recognize it when the timing feels too perfect to be coincidence. That's your confirmation. The wind is behind you. Don't analyze it. Ride it. When the wind moves, things align. Emails arrive. People call. Decisions become clear. It's not luck. It's orchestration. You don't need to chase confirmation anymore. You've entered the flow where confirmation chases you. What you once had to fast for, you'll now walk into. What used to require striving will now require only obedience. This is not a downgrade of discipline. It's an upgrade of access. You're not less spiritual because things are getting easier. You're more aligned. That's the power of walking with these creatures. You no longer force the next step. It finds you. Keep your spirit light, your ears open, and your movements quick. The wind is faithful to those who follow it. Understand this: each creature is a manifestation of how heaven is now choosing to communicate with you. You may not hear voices, you may not see visions, but you will feel them, and that's enough. Trust the pull, trust the discomfort, trust the lift. The lion speaks in your boldness, the guardian speaks in your boundaries, the wind speaks in your breakthroughs. Stop asking for signs when the signs are already walking with you. You are not in the dark, you're just being led differently now. This is prophetic navigation, and it's only given to those trusted with weight. This is weight, not burden. There's a difference. Burdens wear you out, weight builds you up. You're being stretched because you're being strengthened. What felt like pressure last season is now your platform. The lion is not intimidated. The guardian is not confused. The wind is not tired. And neither are you. You are rising, not because you forced it, but because heaven timed it. Don't shrink, don't explain. Just walk. You are no longer on the outside of your calling, you're in the center of it. And the creatures are proof the heavens are backing you now. Chosen one, your presence is now a disruption to anything misaligned. That's not your fault, it's your mantle. The lion walking beside you will stir intimidation in some, not because you are hostile, but because your clarity exposes confusion. Your boldness will make passive spirits uncomfortable. That is by design. You are not called to entertain dysfunction. You are called to confront it simply by being present. When you walk into a room, heaven walks in with you. Do not shrink to make others comfortable in their chaos. You were not sent to blend in. You were sent to break patterns. Your existence is now a rebuke to everything that thrives on compromise. The guardian doesn't let you play both sides anymore. Double-mindedness dies in its presence. You may have once tolerated divided loyalty. Now you feel sick when you do. You may have once appeased others to keep peace. Now your peace is disturbed when you try. That's the guardian calling you higher. It has no tolerance for spiritual dilution. Its silence is discipline. Its nearness is fire. The more you try to entertain what God has already ended, the more agitation you'll feel. That's not emotional unrest. That's divine restriction. You can't go back because your spirit won't fit back in what it outgrew. The guardian has sealed the exit. The wind is about to expose how much effort you've wasted. You'll look back and realize how many doors you tried to force open that God never sent you to. You'll see how many rooms you entered that had no air. The wind doesn't apologize for moving past the past. It won't stop to explain itself to your comfort zones. It is movement incarnate, and now it has come to carry you to places you could never reach by effort alone. You are stepping into divine velocity, not faster just for speed's sake, but because destiny has caught up with you. What once crawled will now soar. What once lingered will now land. You are no longer in preparation. You are in performance. Not for the world's applause, but for heaven's agenda. God is no longer hiding you. He is positioning you. These creatures did not appear in your life to intimidate. They appeared to initiate. This is the launch sequence, the roar, the silence, the lift. You are not waking up. You are being sent. And this time, your delay would be disobedience. This is not about hype. This is about heaven. You are the vessel God chose to release what others are still praying for. The creatures didn't come to visit. They came to accompany. That lion is not ornamental, it's instructional. Watch how it walks, bold, measured, present, never frantic, never rushed. That's how you move now. Let the lion train your posture, your pace, your gaze. You are not in reaction anymore. You're in authority. You don't chase. You're chased. The roar is not your weapon. It is your signature. Use it wisely. Speak only what heaven sanctions. Declare only what God confirms. And when you do, the atmosphere will respond. Not because you're loud, but because you're legal. The guardian is not sentimental. It doesn't linger in rooms God has vacated. It does not tolerate nostalgia disguised as loyalty. When the guardian moves you on, don't ask for closure. Ask for courage. God is not explaining to people why you had to leave. He is enforcing it through presence. The creature's silence is the confirmation. Don't try to justify your obedience to those who refused their own. The guardian does not wait for consensus. It acts on command. If you feel your old life collapsing behind you, that's not abandonment. That's preservation. The wind is now your vehicle. You're not walking alone. You're being carried. Expect acceleration that doesn't match your effort. Expect connections that exceed your credentials. Expect timing that overrides your planning. That's what happens when you move with the wind. It's not chaotic, it's calibrated. You are not behind schedule. You're moving in sync with something bigger than you. Stay light, stay ready, stay open. The wind will not shout, it will signal. And when it does, move, quickly, quietly, completely. You'll understand later. Chosen one, this is the moment where everything begins to unfold. You don't need to manipulate, you don't need to hustle, you don't need to beg, just walk. The lion confirms you. The guardian separates you. The wind transports you. Together, they mark you as chosen. Heaven did not send them because you were strong. It sent them because you were surrendered. Your life is no longer random. Your movements are no longer reactionary. You are no longer wondering if you're called. You are walking in it. Fully, finally, fearlessly. Chosen one, the enemy can no longer access you the same way. Not because he stopped trying, but because the creatures have changed your positioning. You are no longer exposed in the open. You are now covered by presence. The lion intimidates what used to influence you. The guardian restricts what used to follow you. The wind lifts you beyond reach. What once affected you emotionally now rolls off like mist. You are not hard-hearted. You are protected. Your sensitivity has been redirected to heaven, not drama. Your warfare has been rerouted. You no longer fight from survival. You war from a place of certainty. God already secured this. People will ask you how you suddenly became so clear, so bold, so untouchable. They won't understand that it wasn't sudden. It was spiritual. Years of internal obedience are finally manifesting externally. They don't see the quiet sacrifices, the lonely nights, the private discipline. They only see the creatures now, but heaven saw you long before they appeared. Don't explain what cost you everything to those who only want access, not understanding. Let the fruit speak. Let the lion's steps echo. Let the wind carry your results into places your voice doesn't even need to reach. You don't owe them explanation. You owe God obedience. Every shift you've experienced lately has been surgical. God has been removing without consulting your comfort. That's the guardian's work. It doesn't ask, it extracts. People were removed, ideas disrupted, emotions confronted, not because something was wrong with you, but because something was right. The guardian is ensuring your future will not be hijacked by your past. You may feel raw, even grieved by what has been lost, but what you're feeling is divine removal, not emotional rejection. God knows exactly what had to go so that what's coming can be trusted with you. Watch what happens now. The wind will introduce you to places that once ignored you. Rooms that never responded to your emails will now pursue your presence. People who overlooked you will now seek your voice. Not because of marketing, but because of momentum. When heaven breathes on your name, there's no need for performance. You are not rising by campaign. You are rising by command. This is the difference. You didn't brand yourself into visibility. You obeyed yourself into inevitability. The wind is not asking for permission. It's making announcements. Let the lion remind you that you don't have to roar to prove power. Some days it will simply walk with you, calm, composed, certain. That's enough. Your confidence is a threat, not because you boast, but because you know. You know who you are now. You know what you carry. You know what's shifting. That knowing is dangerous to systems built on insecurity. Let them wonder. Let them speculate. You're not here to prove. You're here to walk. And as you walk, heaven will speak through your life. The lion is not a symbol of ego. It is the mark of divine commission. You will be tested in this clarity. The enemy will not send new temptations. He'll try to recycle old ones. He'll whisper through old voices. He'll attempt to lure you through familiar pains. But this time, you'll feel nothing. That's the guardian sealing your access. The door that once swung wide with emotion is now locked by conviction. You're not avoiding conflict. You're disarming it by non-reaction. The creature is training you in spiritual neutrality. Not apathy, but elevation. You're not being cold. You're being called higher. Let the silence speak louder than your explanations. The wind will keep you moving, even when you want to rest too long in one place. Comfort will whisper stay, nostalgia will whisper return, but the wind won't wait. It has seen the future and is pulling you into it. You're not allowed to pause at the last breakthrough. That was just the beginning. Don't let celebration turn into stagnation. You didn't come this far to settle. You came this far to ascend. The wind is not impressed with your last miracle. It's positioning you for the next one. Stay light, stay ready, stay submitted. Movement is the proof that you're still aligned. Chosen one, this level of access comes with responsibility. Not to impress, but to intercede. Not to perform, but to embody. You are becoming a living message, proof that God keeps His word. The creatures weren't sent just to protect you. They were sent to make you visible. Strategic visibility, not clout-chasing visibility. There is a difference. Your rise will not look loud, but it will be undeniable. Those who mocked your obedience will now witness your oil. Let it pour, let it flow, let them see. Not for your glory, but for God's. You were always chosen, now it's simply visible. Chosen one, this new level of grace will disrupt your patterns. You will find yourself unable to return to rhythms that once felt familiar. The lion doesn't walk in circles. It moves forward, always. That's how you must walk now. The days of spinning in emotional loops, spiritual indecision, and delayed obedience are over. You've seen too much. You've heard too clearly. You've been marked too deeply. The lion doesn't tolerate stalling, and neither will your spirit. What used to be called procrastination will now feel like disobedience, because it is. And heaven isn't playing with your assignment anymore. You'll find your energy repulsed by conversations that carry no power. That's the guardian correcting your environment. You don't need to argue your convictions, you need to protect them. The more you grow in clarity, the more you'll repel chatter that wastes your discernment. You won't be able to gossip, speculate, or distract yourself anymore. Not because you're better than others, but because your calling requires more. The guardian doesn't care how comfortable a space once was. If it no longer fits the next version of you, it's closed. Even if it's familiar, especially if it's familiar. The wind is about to bring strangers into your life who feel more like family than some relatives ever did. Don't be confused when sudden connections feel divine. They are. The wind is strategic. It doesn't carry debris. It carries alignment. Be discerning, not paranoid. The people God is sending will not flatter your insecurity. They will sharpen your maturity. Expect correction, not just celebration. Expect challenge, not just comfort. These relationships are not emotional. They are prophetic. They are sent to help you carry what's coming. Walk with them, and the journey will feel lighter. You will wake up some days feeling a weight you can't explain. That's not depression. It's the lion's breath on your soul, preparing you for spiritual confrontation. Not all battles happen out loud. Some happen in posture, in presence, in unseen decisions. This weight is not punishment. It's permission. You are now trusted to stand when others would run, to hold ground others would surrender. The lion is teaching you to anchor, not retreat. Don't ask God to lift the weight. Ask Him to train you under it. The weight means you've been chosen for more than breakthrough. You've been chosen to be the breaker. The guardian will keep calling you into deeper silence, not as withdrawal, but as preparation. Don't mistake quiet for absence. In the silence, your instructions are coming. In the silence, your strength is regenerating. In the silence, your vision is being sharpened. The creature doesn't hide you to isolate, it hides you to insulate. It knows what's coming. You can't carry the next level of glory on last season's noise. Pull away without explanation. Protect the oil without guilt. The deeper the silence, the louder your next season will speak. You'll feel the wind increase when your heart is ready to trust without knowing. The wind does not coddle. It compels. It's not going to explain every move, but it will confirm every step. You're entering a realm of supernatural trust, where logical safety is no longer your guide. Provision will show up after you move, not before. Instructions will be given mid-air, not on the ground. This is divine flight school, and the wind is your instructor. Lean into the unseen. Flow with what stirs. Obey what doesn't make sense. You will understand in motion. This isn't about arrival, it's about alignment. The creatures didn't appear to signal a finish line. They came to escort you into a deeper realm of purpose. You are no longer just someone who believes, you are someone who embodies. People will no longer just hear your faith, they will feel it. In your posture, in your peace, in your decisions, you are now living proof. And the weight you carry is not a burden, it's a banner. God has chosen to place His glory on you in a way that cannot be denied, dismissed, or duplicated. The lion walks beside glory. The guardian preserves glory. The wind reveals glory. Chosen one, you are being reintroduced, not to the world, to yourself. The version of you that God always saw is now emerging, stronger, quieter, bolder, more focused, less afraid. You don't need applause to affirm it. You don't need validation to sustain it. You just need alignment. And now, you have it. The creatures are not random. They are right on time. Your season has changed. Your name is echoing. Your spirit is rising. And this time you're not hoping for it, you're walking in it. Every step is marked, every breath is led, every moment is prophetic. Welcome to who you really are. Chosen one, you are no longer in training. You are in transfer. What you carried internally is about to become visible externally. The lion's presence is not ornamental, it is governmental. You are stepping into dominion that no longer needs to be explained. It will be felt, it will be seen, and it will not be denied. The same places where you were once overlooked will now honor your authority. Not because they changed, but because you did. You are walking in such clarity that even your silence speaks. Even your stillness shifts things. The lion doesn't have to fight to prove power, it simply arrives. The guardian is sealing what God started in you. Every compromise that once slipped through the cracks is now being shut down. Your yes is getting louder, even without words. Your standards are rising, not out of pride, but out of purity. You're no longer asking if people understand your boundaries. You're enforcing them. And the more you enforce what God has spoken, the more He will trust you with what hasn't yet been revealed. The guardian doesn't protect comfort, it protects calling. That's why you've been feeling that strange inner nudge to walk away from what still looks good. Because God is not blessing what's good, He's sustaining what's right. The wind is increasing behind you. You're beginning to feel the acceleration in conversations, in confirmations, in connections. What took years will now take weeks. What drained you before will now be done in divine rhythm. Your steps are ordered not just by wisdom, but by wind. That means God will push you into rooms you didn't plan for. He'll present you before voices you once only listened to. But don't shrink. Don't hesitate. You were not sent to be amazed. You were sent to activate. The wind does not waste its energy. If you're being lifted, it's because something must shift through you. You'll notice that the lion no longer roars often. That's because you don't need volume, you need velocity. Your anointing is not in how loud you declare, but in how accurately you move. This is maturity. You are no longer proving your power, you are walking in it. The lion is there to remind you that silence is not surrender. Stillness is not passivity. Sometimes the greatest act of authority is restraint. God is teaching you not just when to speak, but when not to. The lion is not there to react, it is there to govern, and you are now being positioned to do the same. The guardian will become more visible in moments of temptation, not just with sin, but with distractions that look like destiny. It will nudge you away from relationships that drain, from opportunities that glitter but lack God, from platforms that celebrate you but don't carry your purpose. Do not ignore these signals. The guardian does not argue. It simply restricts. If a door suddenly closes, don't push it. If access suddenly feels wrong, don't question it. You are being protected, not punished. The guardian is not guarding what you're leaving, it's guarding where you're going. The wind will begin to carry your voice further than your feet can go. Messages you speak in private will echo in public. The anointing on your life will begin to spread beyond geography. People you've never met will be moved by what God does through you. Don't chase exposure. Steward the assignment. You were not sent to go viral. You were sent to go vertical. Stay aligned with heaven, and heaven will handle the reach. The wind is not hype, it's holy, and when it lifts you, no man can drop you. When it pushes you, no demon can block you. When it moves you, no voice can stop you. Chosen one, you are not just chosen to receive, you are chosen to reveal. These creatures were not assigned to spectators. They were released to warriors, builders, prophets, carriers of fire. You are not here to merely survive the world. You are here to reorder it. You are a sign of what's possible when surrender becomes lifestyle, when obedience becomes identity, when presence becomes priority. You are proof that God still walks with man, that his glory still rests on the yielded. You are not asking for revival. You are carrying it. Step like it, speak like it, live like it. You are now entering the fullness of the assignment. No more practice rounds, no more dress rehearsals, no more delay. The lion walks beside your authority. The guardian enforces your separation. The wind releases your speed. All of heaven is in motion, and you are no longer watching from the sidelines. This is your time, your territory, your turning point. Step boldly, move swiftly, guard deeply. You are not the same, and this world will never be the same because of what you now carry. Heaven has moved, and so must you. Chosen one, let this settle deeply. The creatures did not appear because you were desperate. They appeared because you were ready. Ready for more than survival. Ready for more than revelation. Ready for responsibility. The lion confirms that your voice carries weight beyond what you understood. The guardian affirms that your path is too sacred for compromise. The wind guarantees that no time has been lost, only recalibrated. You are not catching up, you are stepping in. What you once begged God to reveal, he has now embodied in your walk. You don't need another sign. You are the sign, chosen, commissioned, covered. You have now crossed over. There will be no going back. Not emotionally, not spiritually, not relationally. The creatures have shifted your spiritual chemistry. People will sense the change without knowing what it is. Environments will respond to your arrival differently. Heaven's mark is visible, not just in your favor, but in your filter. What you allow, what you ignore, what you embrace. You will find that silence now protects you more than explanation ever could. You will notice that peace becomes your proof. You no longer have to force access. You walk in authority, quietly, clearly, unapologetically. Understand this, you were not chosen because you were qualified. You were chosen because you were willing. Willing to stay when others left. Willing to trust when you had no map. Willing to obey when obedience cost you everything. And now, God is revealing the reward. But not just in blessings, in blueprint. Your path will be watched, your words will be weighed, and your presence will be known not for perfection, but for power. The lion guards your name. The guardian guards your timing. The wind guards your purpose. This is not pressure. This is prophecy fulfilled. So walk now. Not cautiously, not aimlessly, but intentionally. You are not discovering your purpose. You are delivering it. Every step is synchronized. Every delay was divine. Every loss was set up. God never left you wandering. He left you wondering so you would keep seeking. And now, he answers, not with noise, but with movement. You are the evidence that awakening is not a metaphor. It is a moment. This is yours. The lion beside you. The guardian behind you. The wind before you. Walk, chosen one. Heaven is waiting no longer.